Robin and Lucy really are polar opposites when it comes to being single, aren't
Yes.
they? Can you talk a little bit about their approaches?
Yes, Lucy is really on a mission to find a husband. She hates being single. She already feels like she spent too much time being single. And, so she's really very specifically looking for one type of guy who fits a very specific mold to be her husband. She's looking exclusively online. And she sort of gets in her own way. She's highly intellectual. She's very much into statistics, but to her own detriment.
And what about Robin?
Okay, so my character Robin, she loves being single. She's a very independent woman. She does whatever she wants, whenever she wants to. And she parties it up. And yeah, she has one-night stands and stuff. But she's not embarrassed to be single. She's just really embracing the single lifestyle. And loving it.
One thing I will say, our characters are not alike in any way, except maybe just only in the fact that neither one is really ashamed of who they are. They're both proud of who they are, and they really know who they are. Like even
and
Lucy,
they know their worth.
Yeah.
As ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the scene in the bookshop where Lucy has that bit of a meltdown. I think we can all relate to that in one way or another, can't we? I just wondered, how far would you go that a lot of the humour in the film comes from how relatable it is?
Oh, absolutely it does. I mean, that was probably my favorite scene to shoot. It was so fun. The physical comedy alone is so fun, but what I loved about that scene was really the emotionality and the groundedness to what she's saying and sort of where it's coming from is her feeling like she's been rejected when she's done nothing wrong, and then sort of reflecting on all the work we have to do. And that message is so much about the things that women have to do that men don't even have to think about, relationship or not. Those things, that these expectations by society that she feels like she has to live up to, but really she's putting them on herself. It was a very more complex scene than you might expect.
And how much did you enjoy creating that comic duo with Dakota Johnson? Why does it work so well, do you think?
It really reminded me when we were out on the streets of New York, just like, it reminded me of Absolutely Fabulous, of Joanna Lumley and Jennifer Saunders, because Dakota's kind of tall and thin, and I'm kind of the more dumpy kind of crazier.
Because Dakota's like a little more dry and almost the straight man, and then you get to, have big
but we're kind of like
moments.
the traditional comedy duo in a way, us two together. Who would have thought it? Like, and I'd never worked with any of these ladies until this film. Yeah. But yeah, there was something like really reminiscent of like an old comedy duo happening.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I love the references in the film to like Friends and Sex and the City and Bridget Jones, and it seemed to make this film all the more believable and grounded in the real world. What are your own sort of go-to box sets or movies, and why? Especially when you feel you need a bit of a lift, spirits lifted.
I love Sex and the City. I know you've
I've never
really watched it.
Although I have seen the movie though.
All right. Well,
so I know what the characters are. Yeah.
Okay, but the show I love so much, and I will rewatch episodes of Sex and the City all the time. And I used to do it a lot when I would be going through breakups, because it's so easy to think of those characters. I'd be like, this is an Aiden type of breakup, and then I could watch those episodes to relate to them.
I mean, I like the Bridget Jones movies.
Yeah.
I
like Hitch.
Although I love how she's supposedly big in the Bridget Jones. I'm like,
big
not
for
really.
Renee Zellweger.
Yeah. But what did you say?
I said Hitch. With Will Smith.
I love that one.
That's one of my favorite ones. And it's like a very uplifting rom-com, I feel like. And because it has a male lead, people don't even think of it almost as being a rom-com. But it is.
But it is.
Alison Brie Rebel Wilson, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.